Families, friends, guests, did I mention that INSEAD's EMBA program is really intense and really diverse? And now all that intensity and diversity is really great, as both of you have pointed out, but it makes INSEAD probably the hardest business school to teach at in the world. It is thus a huge honor to be nominated for a teaching prize, and the academic reps, Reshmi, Rajendran, and Mustafa Khater, please come forward to announce your class's nominations and winner of the Best Teaching Awards. Thank you so much. Thank you.
And the winner for the EMBA class December 2016 recognizes... Oh. The nominees first. We don't have any nominees.
We don't have any nominees.
Enrico Dicidue. Charlie Galonik. Pascal Menhut. Outstanding Faculty Award for Core Course.
Would you say a few words?
Of course, yeah, please.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm delighted. It's quite an honor. I'm also shocked because it usually goes to finance and never to OB. So, but in the last year, I've befriended a few Russian hackers, and they managed to access the system and change the voting. So I'm particularly happy. I'm also surprised because of the thorough beating we gave you last summer in the soccer tournament, in the football tournament. And I just want you to know, if you come next July, you'll get more of the same. So, look, it's icing on the cake for me to receive this award for a job that I love. I've told you guys this before, but I think management is the most important, the most impactful profession in the world. People on this planet today will spend more time with their managers, more time influenced by their managers than they will by any other professions. Doctors, lawyers, bankers, accountants, anybody else. People come home at the end of the day, and inevitably, like in my family when I was growing up, they talked about the experiences they had over the day. And when my family came home, when my mom and dad came home and they were upset about something, displeased, it often had to do with the quality of management. And the days that they came home more excited about the future, more certain about the future, a lot of it had to do with the quality of the management. So I would encourage you to continue to invest. I think it's a huge way to make an impact on our world today. I just want to wish you a lot of success, a lot of happiness, and continued investment in yourselves and in your families. Thank you.
The nominees for the non-core courses are Neil Burden, Kevin Kaser, and Prof. Claudia. And the award goes to Prof. Sunil Burden,
I need my chair, actually. I gave each of you the opportunity last week to every morning reflect on the question, who do I want to be? And I found your answers, and I'm going to read to you your answers, and strangely, you write to yourself in this bizarre second person as you. Allow me to read it. The question is that they all answer each morning is, what kind of person do I want to be? You wrote, you recall the fundamental question of ancient ethics. How ought I live my life? You know that question is indeed cardinal. Your life hinges on your answer, whether you choose to answer it deliberately and reflectively or not. Indeed, the lives of all these people in this room today will be affected by your answer to that question in the deepest ways imaginable. You want to be successful. You know that for sure. Who doesn't? And of course, you want to be successful in the conventional sense in your career and so on. Who doesn't? You recall the idea of resume virtues, and you're aware that your resume is clearly becoming more virtuous today when you receive in a moment your prestigious degrees from Ilion and Urs. But what matters most to you, you realize, is that you want to be a successful human being, that you want to live a life worth living. You once heard a definition of success, or you're about to, that struck you as right and correct. It was this: success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. Success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. That sounds right to you. Success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. That almost seems to you like a Zen koan, something as cryptic as what is the sound of one hand clapping. So now you're going to meditate on that idea seriously. One reading of the koan is, success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. Progressive realization. You see that success is not some end state, not an arrival point. Rather, you realize that success involves movement. It is a journey. Success involves going forward. It matters not where you came from or even where you are now, really. What matters for success is that you go forward from wherever you stand. You recall something you heard attributed to the great American writer Ernest Hemingway. There is nothing noble in being superior to your fellow men. True nobility lies in being superior to your former self. That sounds right. Success, you understand, in a very real sense, is becoming superior to your former selves. You think back to the first week of classes, reflect on how far you've come, and see very clearly that you have succeeded. You have succeeded. You wonder, well, what about the word realization? Success involves making something that was not into something that is, making it a reality. That something, in the most meaningful sense of success, is yourself. You that has now realized on this very special day. You recall that you began this EMBA journey hoping for change in yourself. You see that you have changed yourself and left some old selves behind. What you had hoped for has, you feel now, become real. So yes, you have succeeded. You have progressively realized a better self, that self who is now comprehending these words. Here is another reading of the koan. Success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. Worthy ideal. What is worthy? What is ideal? Worthy has many meanings, of course. To be worthy is to possess merit, to be excellent, to be deserving of honor, respect, perhaps to be virtuous in the sense of Aristotle we discussed. Success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. An ideal is a model of perfection. It's a Platonic concept. Though not really attainable, it is nonetheless useful, like a perfect circle in geometry. You see clearly that having a perfect target helps you aim more perfectly. What does perfection in myself look like, you think? What are my ideas of perfection in human beings? You list some virtues you admire: strength, courage, fairness, integrity, authenticity, thoughtfulness, perseverance, kindness, self-honesty, empathy, and crucially, and my personal favorite, self-discipline. Those, of course, are the worthy aims, but what are your actual aims? You reflect, and you're going to be honest. You ask yourself honestly, are my true aims really worthy of honor? Do I really just seek titles and glory for myself? Are my deepest motives, when I'm being radically honest, really fundamentally just wealth and recognition for myself? Are my aims selfish? Are they crude and conventional, ordinary? Ordinary is generally not excellent, you reflect. Thanks to your ethics course, you see that you value human excellence, especially excellence of character, and you have made a commitment to yourself to live excellently. You keep your commitments, hence you will continue to succeed, you tell yourself. But will you? Will you? Will you keep them? Do you have the will to continue to succeed? Friedrich Nietzsche is not often evoked at graduations these days, but nonetheless you recall his remark, all weakness is weakness of will. That in turn brings to mind something your professor told you Victor Hugo is said to have said: people do not lack strength, they lack will. Many thoughts spring to your mind. Do I have will? Do you have the will to continue reading, learning, and developing yourself when this course is done, or rather now that this course is done? Do you have the will to honor the promises you made to yourself and your family over the course of the program? Do you have the will to repay the time they lent you by allowing you to leave home to attend those modules and to spend real time with them, listening, being present, not distracted, being kind, showing gratitude? Do you have the will to do all of that all the time? Above all, do you have the will to continue becoming progressively better versions of yourself each day, each moment of each day? Not as an occasional attempt at self-improvement mixed in the rest of your busy life, not a New Year's resolution, but an inviolable agreement with yourself to make the progressive realization the central aim of each moment of each day. You reflect on your will. Your mind is filled with thoughts and ideas, things that you have heard others say. One jumps out to you, something an old American football coach is supposed to have said: the difference between a successful person and others is not lack of strength, not lack of knowledge, but rather lack of will. That idea is all around, it seems, and it sounds right. Do you have will? You will, of course, have your degree in just a few moments, and again, you've surely checked the resume virtues box. The real question today is, do you have the will to relentlessly, diligently, determinedly, obsessively, and progressively realize your worthy ideal? Discipline plus will is destiny. Are you the master of your fate? Are you the captain of your soul? Success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. Success is a choice we face at each instant, isn't it? Anyhow, if you don't like that way of thinking about it, the way of strength and discipline and will, Ralph Waldo Emerson describes success in a much gentler way. To laugh often and much, to win the respect of intelligent people and the affection of children, to earn the appreciation of honest critics and endure the betrayal of false friends, to appreciate beauty, to find the best in others, to leave the world a bit better, whether by a healthy child, a garden patch, a redeemed social condition, to even know that one life has breathed easier because you lived. This is to have succeeded. Surely that's right as well. Thank you very much for this. I really appreciate it. I really enjoyed meeting you. Please ask yourself those questions every day.